Recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
I want to thank my dear friend, Chairman Meeks, for working with me on this important legislation. This is an historic time. It's an historic bill. The largest invasion in Europe since World War II. War crimes in Europe, the likes of which we haven't seen since my father's generation in my father's war. Mr. Speaker, the world is watching, and history will judge us all by how we act, by our actions. As the chairman said, the tape is filming. The reel is filming this. We are seeing these horrific images coming out of Ukraine as I speak. And sadly, there'll be many more. We've just hit the surface. Corpses littering the streets of Bucha, their hands tied behind their backs, bullets in their heads, some decapitated. A pregnant woman covered in blood as these monsters bombed a maternity hospital, for God's sakes. As she gets wheeled out, holding on to her womb, her baby. Sadly and tragically, both she and her baby did not survive that day. Mothers raped in front of their children, young girls raped in front of their families. Girls. The bodies of families half buried together in shallowed graves with hands still sticking out of the ground. My God, what is happening in this world? I never imagined or thought I would see this in my lifetime. This is of centuries ago, not today. The bombing of apartments and public buildings, providing refuge to children and the elderly, including a theater in Mariupol that had the word children written outside so large in Russian that the satellites could see it. We could see it from satellites. What did the Russians do? They bombed it. They bombed it knowing that there are children inside. And today, just today, most disturbing, we have reporting out of Ukraine that Russia is bringing in mobile crematoriums. Mobile crematoriums to deal with the carnage because there's so many bodies in the streets. Bring in mobile crematoriums in an effort to hide the evidence of their crimes. These are Putin's war crimes, and he would be held responsible. He and his cronies and the Russian troops who have carried them out must be held accountable. Sadly, these are not the first war crimes committed by Putin's troops, as the people of Chechnya, Georgia, and Syria can attest. We cannot wait for the next atrocity before we act. We must do what we can now to deter Russian leaders, commanders, and troops in the field from committing further war crimes. That is why we introduced this legislation. It will ensure the United States helps the people of Ukraine gather, analyze, and maintain the evidence of these war crimes. It will also put Russian troops, I think troops is probably not the right word, these Russian monsters, and their leaders on notice that the world is watching. The world is watching them right now. And we're taking names. We're taking the names of these war criminals, and we're taking the photographs, and we're taking the surveillance, and we're taking the satellite imagery to document this injustice, this crime against humanity. And we will seek justice. I'm very proud of the bipartisan efforts that our committee has made. But on this topic, I just have to, my God, I can't believe we're here even talking about this. I can't believe this is actually happening in this world, in this century. These horrific atrocities in Bucha have made one thing crystal clear. No country can remain neutral in the face of this evil. The entire world needs to rally against Mr. Putin and these war crimes. And passing this bill is a step forward to getting justice done. I was a federal prosecutor for a good part of my life, and I've dealt with a lot of victims. And I've seen a lot of really awful things that man can do to mankind. I have to say, Mr. Speaker, this is probably, in fact, absolutely the worst thing I've seen in my lifetime. And the world is watching, and history will judge us all. And all nations will judge us all by what we do here and now. And with that, I reserve the balance of my time.